Fans, if you're just joining us, hopefully you are. And listen, if you're just coming through tailgate, if it's the girls' night and you guys are pre-gaming with us, thank you. If it's a family get-together, if you're at the frat house getting ready to turn up and you stop here with us, welcome. Grab yourself something to sip. We just watched of the top 7 college football programs, according to the College Football Playoff Committee. 3 of them got beat. 2 of them, it was a shock. It was an absolute shock in terms of Alabama and Clemson. We knew Tennessee had their hands full. We're going to get right into it. Alabama, LSU, as they have flooded the field. All the Tiger faithful, pretty beleaguered start to the season. Brian Kelly trying to get himself settled. Fellas, they do it. And we just watched this together live. Michael Felder, I was looking at Alabama's defense saying they only gave up 1 touchdown in the last 5 possessions. Felder's like, yeah, but that was the touchdown that actually put them over the top. Felder, I'm just going to start with you. What's your biggest takeaway in either looking at it from Alabama's lens or looking at it through LSU's lens or just as a fan?
I think obviously it's great for LSU. My biggest takeaway is they had a lot of bugs on the rug. They had a lot of guys on the ground, and whether it was Dallas Turner or it was Will Anderson almost making a tackle, right? And Dallas Turner almost making a tackle, Moody almost making a tackle, Brian Branch almost making a tackle. So it was a combination of missed tackles, but we also saw some pancakes. So they had a lot of, again, I call them bugs on the rug because it's one of those things where, you're on the ground, your hands are shaking, and you can't do anything because you got somebody else on top of you. And that was my biggest takeaway from Alabama was, hey, man, maybe y'all not the baddest boys on the block right now when it comes to that physical strength and moving bodies and controlling the line of scrimmage, because they didn't control the line of scrimmage this game.
Hack, the quarterback play, we went back and forth with the Tennessee-Alabama head-to-head just only 2 weeks ago. I think it was you, Clint, but I've also talked to Felder about it. Probably one of the best head-to-head quarterback matchups we've seen from start to finish, basically. Those two held serve. How did tonight look with Jaden Daniels and the growth he's come up under? Also with Bryce Young and what he's asked to carry for Bama.
Yeah, listen, I think Brian Kelly's done a great job of putting Jaden Daniels in positions where he's comfortable and in positions and asking him to do things that he does well. It obviously takes some time to warm up. A kid coming in from Arizona State, new coach coming in from South Bend. There's a little bit of a honeymoon phase that goes into that, but I think he's really done a great job of accelerating that growth in today's new age of college football, and that's a big tip of the cap to him and both of them, Brian Kelly and Jay Daniels, in how they develop. But I think this is another example of a Bryce Young who, in my personal opinion, starting the game and even all the way through about the third quarter, looked kind of out of sorts, made some plays here and there. LSU did a great job of confusing him, eliminating his ability to step up in the pocket and have clean lanes, whether to run or find somebody. They did a great job of really mucking up the center guard portion of the offensive line that I think Bryce really relies on being super sturdy. But another perfect example of Bryce Young when it comes nut cutting time, man, like this kid still delivered, right? Like Brian Kelly just rolled out a bigger set of balls here going for it on fourth down after going for the 2-point conversion as opposed to the second overtime, right? And they ended up executing. But yeah, I mean, huge fucking sack. Like there's no way to describe it other than that. And it worked out fantastic for them. But like I said, I think Bryce Young answered the bell, really figured things out at the end. Unfortunate that this team, top to bottom, I don't think is as good as they were last year. And a lot of great players, but not necessarily, to Felder's point too, like not necessarily playing as one like you usually see an Alabama team. And, something we're going to get to here, but a team that is doing that is down in Athens right now. And it's really interesting to see that dynamic too. It's a Saban disciple, really figuring out the rinse and repeat. And I know George has some really good points to hit on this too, but just the dichotomy of college football and how things are changing. And the stuff that Nick Saban got away with in terms of stacking depth and stacking talent and the expectation being the expectation, it's getting harder and harder for him to be able to keep that standard, keep that golden standard. So, tip of the cap to LSU, but hell of a football game. Enjoyed watching it.